It's going to get toasty today. I think it's going to be like 102 degrees or something like that. Let's see, what day is today? What day is today? Today's the 22nd, which means we're all the way up to gratitude turns what we have into enough. I see where they're going with that. That's not bad. It's not bad. I wish it was a little more whimsical, but it's heavy start to the day. Okay. What we have, though, is interesting. Hi. Introspective timestamp delayed from when I actually drank water. I'm Devin, your friendly neighborhood board gamer, and this is Devin Talks Tabletop, the YouTube channel where the games are made up. What I say doesn't matter, and I apparently haven't talked about tables enough recently. So this is a really crappy table. This is like a $50 picnic table from Walmart that my wife and I got, 7 years ago, something like that we have used off and on and off and on. Derailed. I'm a little nervous to I can't go back now I'll use it every now and then, but this is such a nice handle that I don't want to go back to the other one even though it holds more water. Anyways, you may not see what's in front of me yet because I haven't switched to that yet in post. Maybe now this is where I'll switch to it. But it's here. It is here. Forbidden Stars, the expansion that I have now. Oh, I am so excited about this and actually quite impressed with the print quality. So Forbidden Stars is a out-of-print game that has a Warhammer 40K license back when Fantasy Flight Games had that license. And this to me is Golden Age Fantasy Flight. This is, this game came out, Space Hulk, Death Angel, Letters from Whitechapel, Star Wars Rebellion, Twilight Imperium, like so many games that I still have in my collection that are some of my favorite games are ones that were kind of, I think, in maybe this 5-year span of time at Fantasy Flight. This, however, is not an official expansion. That game went out of print. It's no longer easily available. It's very hard to find that game now. I just happened to pick it up whenever I was getting into games. I like Warhammer, so it was an easy draw for me to check it out whenever I came to the game store here in Little Rock. And I'm so happy that I did. It's like my favorite game, and I love so many things about it. But this is a fan-made expansion called, that's what it's called. It's called Inwardly Directed Burp. Oh, timestamp. Let's see. This is called Galaxy in Flames. Galaxy in Flames. And this is the rules clarification and the description of the different factions. So in the base game, you have the Chaos Space Marines, you have the Ultramarines, and then you have the Orcs and the Eldar. Those are the 4 base races in not Fantasy Flight, Forbidden Stars. This introduces 4 more factions that you can play at. You can play as the Tau Empire, and they're got a lot of robotic stuff going on, but they do have skin. They're not just robots. They just have a lot of armor and stuff that they're messing around with. And then you have the Imperial Guard, who seem like some pretty militaristic, hardcore people. And they're very intriguing. I'm excited about them as well. One of the ones that I'm so excited to check out are the Tyrannid. The Tyrannid are a group, like an alien group that is very, very hive-minded and like swarm-focused. Very curious as to what will happen with this crew here. They're also the main enemy in Space Hulk Death Angel, which is a solo game that I have played recently and found, which is also out of print, and I really, really enjoyed that. And then the final group is one that I became familiar with once I played Adeptus Mechanicus or Warhammer Mechanicus or whatever. There's a RTS or real-time strategy game that's Warhammer based that was a PC game that went to consoles, and I played that and really enjoyed it. And they're the main enemy in here, the Necrons. They're kind of like a single-brained, devious, like technological scourge, almost like AI swarm of bots. They're terrifying as well. So super interested to see how they work out. These are the 4 races: Necrons, Tyranids, Imperial Guard, and the Tau. And then this expansion comes with their homeworld tiles. So these are the system tiles that you will use for them. They have A and B sides. If you've ever played Forbidden Stars, or if you've ever been curious about it, it works off of these system tiles here, and you use those to build out a world, and you choose in the custom maps mission, or custom map style, you choose which tiles to place down when. And it can be a very strategic part of the game in which you're determining where the tiles go. But it's normally a 2x3, a 3x3, or a 4x3 map, but depending on how many players you have, either 2, 3, or 4 players. And it's a hidden order placement game, which is probably one of the 2 favorite parts of the game for me is this. And I have actually... The print quality on this expansion is quite nice. I really actually am impressed by it. But it is still below what the standard production is of the game. So for example, I have already sleeved all of the cards just because I wanted no issues with them getting damaged over the course of the first few plays. So I sleeved everything immediately, and you do reference and use these cards a lot over the course of a game, so I'm happy that I did sleeve them. And then the other thing that I experienced in my base copy, which there are several different ways that people go around this, are these order tokens are hidden, and you place them with what it actually is face down on the system that you want to go into. So for example, these systems are all across the table and you place your order token down, but other people can place theirs on top of them. So over the course of successive plays, you'll eventually get to the point, if you don't have any form of protection, where these will start to wear. Well, if they wear in a significant way, other than just generally across the surface, if they wear in a way that makes it uniquely identifiable for that token, it ruins a part of the game, because then you know what that person's doing, and you're not supposed to know what they're doing. So I have little rubberized protectors for mine, which is kind of like just a first level protection on those tokens. What I actually have for the base game is I purchased acrylic replacement plastic tiles that won't fade in the way that a cardboard version will. And I have those for the base game. And I might try to see if that's possible for this at some point, because it just makes it easier. The other way I've seen people do is they put these in the little coin protector plastic tokens, or plastic counter capsules. And I think that the coin capsules are fine, but they do make it very chunky when you're stacking more than a few on top of each other on the board. And so this is an objective-based space game where you have your objectives spread out across the stars, and you're supposed to go collect them, and they're placed on these planets, and the whole point is to defend other players from getting their objectives while seeking out your own. I think that this is one of the best examples of asymmetry I've seen in a board game. This is what I always kind of teasingly rebuke Root for, is I think that this is asymmetry straight out of the box that just works really, really well, in the sense that the combat that you play, everybody's combat deck is completely unique, and then their orders are unique, and even the ways in which they have schemes and tactics that play out at the end of every round or in the midst of the round, depending on when you choose to play them. It all functions so differently that it really does feel like a fantastic asymmetric experience in space all the time. I love this game, and I'm really impressed with how this turned out. I think that there is definitely a print quality difference between this and the original, but it's way less than I thought it was going to be, and honestly, like, the artwork all stands up. These cards, the print quality may have been, maybe a little bit lower, but now that I have them sleeved, the art on them, it fits to me right in with the regular base game. So I am very, very pleased with getting my hands on this. I was very anxious to see what it was like, and I'm definitely impressed with the quality. And I'll probably, for these 4 faction sheets, I'll do the same thing that it did for the base game where I go get them laminated. I'll probably also get this sheet laminated just to where they don't get damaged and they're easy to use for reference points. But absolutely cannot wait to jump into this and see what these factions are like. There are a few things that get me to a certain level of excited. I always enjoyed getting new stuff in the mail. I enjoy opening up new games. I enjoy playing games. I enjoy getting to see, if there are experiences that are going to kind of stay long term in my collection and in my gaming history. But when this came in, I spent an entire evening sleeving the cards, protecting these tokens, just making sure that everything was kind of in order. And it was one of the few evenings I had in like the last 2 weeks in which I had a break and I could have just relaxed and like watched a show or something or read a book or played a game. I could have relaxed. I did not do that. I just spent a fastidious amount of time organizing this and getting this to the point where I felt it was protected enough, which it still is, and I still need to, like I said, laminate these pieces. But so excited about this game. I do want to end this, and I'll timestamp this so that people may watch it. This is my plea to the subscribers, because there are a lot of you out there that have access to or are accomplished in things that I am not capable of. This expansion is still not fully complete, and I purposely purchased it not complete. This is a game in which you are supposed to have miniatures. Now, you could have purchased plastic or cardboard standees and bases, which aren't really artistically, it's just small pieces that you stick in bases. It would have been probably produced in the same cardboard way as these tokens. You could have done that, but I really did want miniatures for it, and there are files for it. There is a user on Board Game Geek and on Thingiverse. His name is Vontrag, and he has got files on Thingiverse for all 4 of these factions. And I think like STL files and like a resin printer is going to get these to the point that is like, I've seen printed versions of these miniatures alongside the originals, and the miniatures actually are pretty darn close as well in terms of what the quality of the original miniatures are like. And so for me to actually table this, for me to play this game, I do need the units, which I do not have currently. So I'm reaching out to you, someone somewhere out there who has the ability to 3D print, and who has maybe a 3D printer that it wouldn't take ages to, because I really don't want to bog up your ability to print by taking absolutely forever to print. This is not a request to get free stuff. I will pay for this, but I am just looking for someone who has the ability to do resin printing or STL 3D printing so that I can, share these files with you, show you where they are, and see if I can get the miniatures for this printed. That's the final thing that I need to set this up and to play this, is the miniatures so I can have the units to field on the table and on the map. So if you have the ability to do STL files or go on Thingiverse and download and print, please let me know. Email me at devontalkstabletop@gmail.com, and I would love to chat with you, because I want these miniatures. I'm probably not going to paint them. I haven't painted the original ones either, because they're just in standard colors. I have, yellow for the Eldar, it's green for the Orcs, blue for the Space Marines, and then red for the Chaos Space Marines. It would, be awesome to get purple for the Tyranids, and green or black for the Necrons. And then, this looks like another kind of yellow for the Tau, and then gray for the Imperial Guard. So, and even if it's not possible to get those colored, I can also paint them just one shade, one, color. I would love to print the miniatures for this. Please let me know if you have that capabilities. And if you have any questions about Forbidden Stars, it is like my favorite game or one of my favorite games up there, absolutely. If you have any questions about it, please let me know. I'm happy to find some way to do a gameplay for you guys at some point. But it truly is an exceptional space objective-based, strategy game. If you have it and you haven't played it yet, you should play it. And if you don't have it and you're curious about it, if you ever have the opportunity to play it, I think you should. Oh, I just had to talk about this. I'm so excited about this expansion. I'm so pumped. Can't wait to try it out at some point. Alrighty. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. I hope you have a good one. And timestamps on the way out. Timestamp cheese knife. Timestamp Forbidden Stars. Timestamp, oh my goodness, please help me print miniatures. Timestamp, I need to get videos filmed before I go on vacation tomorrow. So let's get to work.